Have you ever ridden past a motorcycle dealership and noticed rows of brand new bikes just sitting there, untouched under the sun? Their paint still gleaming, their engines never fired. Each one a machine built for adrenaline, yet frozen in time. It makes you wonder, what happens to those motorcycles that never sell? Are they shipped back to the factory, crushed for parts, left to gather dust until they rot away? Here's the kicker. In today's unstable market, more motorcycles are sitting idle on dealership lots than ever before. Take bikes like the Yamaha MT-07, once hailed as the perfect entry-level street fighter, or the Harley-Davidson Pan America, an ambitious leap into the adventure category. They're modern, capable, and exciting machines, and yet, some dealerships report over 150 days of supply with no movement. That's 5 months of collecting dust, of draining money, of being passed over again and again. It's a silent crisis in the motorcycle industry, one no one talks about. So today, we're pulling back the curtain on the hidden fate of unsold motorcycles in America and beyond. From the financial pressure at ground level to the jaw-dropping extremes manufacturers go to behind closed doors. Stick around, because what you're about to hear may change the way you see the bikes sitting on your local showroom floor. Let's start by understanding how motorcycle dealerships actually operate. Most people think a dealer owns all those shiny new bikes on the lot, that they bought them outright and are just waiting for customers to walk in with cash. But that's not how it works. Most dealerships finance their inventory through something called floor planning. This is a system where a dealer takes out a loan to pay the manufacturer upfront for every bike they receive. It's not just a product, it's a monthly liability, that Yamaha or Harley sitting under the showroom lights. It's essentially a rental, with interest, insurance, and limited time before it becomes a financial burden. Every unsold motorcycle costs the dealer money, every single day. They can't return it. They can't cancel the invoice. Once that bike arrives, it's theirs to deal with. Now, add in rising interest rates, shrinking demand, and a glut of overproduced models, and you've got a high-stakes game of musical chairs, with thousands of motorcycles and fewer buyers. How did we get here? The truth is, motorcycle manufacturers are always trying to predict the future. They bet big on trends, chasing the next hot category. Sport bikes, naked bikes, cruisers, electric commuters. They spend years developing models, tuning engines, and crafting designs, all based on forecasts and buzz. But when the market shifts, those bikes can become obsolete before they even reach the lot. Some dealerships are still holding on to 2021 and 2022 inventory, bikes that should have sold 2 seasons ago. Models like premium touring machines or first-gen electric motorcycles that buyers simply aren't interested in anymore. In the industry, 60 to 90 days is considered a healthy turnover window, but when bikes linger beyond 200 days, dealers panic. Interest costs skyrocket, showroom space shrinks, and pressure builds. This mismatch between supply and demand is the root cause of the crisis, and the reason why we now see desperate tactics behind the scenes. So, what do dealers do when a motorcycle won't sell? Here are the 4 most common, yet surprising, tactics they use to move aging inventory. Tactic number 1. Price cuts and factory incentives. When a motorcycle lingers too long on the showroom floor, the first and most predictable move is to start cutting the price. It's a strategy as old as commerce itself. Make the deal sweeter. Dealers start by trimming a few $100 off the MSRP, then a few hundred more. The manufacturer steps in with factory-to-dealer incentives, essentially offering dealers back-end bonuses for moving specific models. And before long, you're looking at a machine that was once a premium-priced, high-demand release, now sitting under a bright red clearance tag. Let's take a real-world example. The Kawasaki Ninja 400, one of the most popular entry-level sport bikes on the market. Lightweight, nimble, with just enough punch to make new riders feel like heroes. In theory, it should fly off the lot. But by May 2025, some dealerships were still holding on to 2022 stock. Rows of brand new Ninjas, untouched, unridden, unwanted. Not because they weren't good, but because Kawasaki overshipped them, misjudging just how many riders were in the market. So dealers began slashing prices by 10 to 15%. That's hundreds of dollars off. Then they sweetened the deal. Free helmet with purchase. 0% financing for 60 months. No money down. Some even threw in free riding gear bundles, like jackets and gloves, just to make it more attractive. And sure, it worked for a while. Those deals moved units. Bikes started disappearing from the floor. But there's a darker side to this tactic. Once you teach your customers to wait for a deal, they never pay full price again. Suddenly, that once premium machine is seen as a deal bike. People start asking, why would I buy it in January when I know they'll cut $1,000 off in July? This phenomenon is called price conditioning, and it can slowly erode the perceived value of even the most respected brands. It's happened before. Harley-Davidson's once sacred MSRP took a hit in the 2010s when discounts became the norm. Ducati had to rein in aggressive dealership markdowns to preserve its premium image, and even Yamaha, known for bulletproof quality, has struggled to maintain pricing on certain models when incentives become too frequent. Too many discounts tell the market one thing loud and clear: this bike didn't sell because nobody wanted it. And in an industry driven by passion, identity, and perception, that kind of stigma is poison. Dealers know this. Manufacturers know this. But when interest rates are rising, demand is stalling, and bikes are aging like milk in the sun, they're left with no other choice. It's a game of survival. And price cuts? That's just the first domino. Tactic number 2. Reclassify as used or demo bikes. When price cuts stop working, and showroom floors remain stubbornly full, dealers get creative. They know that slashing prices further risks tanking brand value, but they still need to move inventory. So instead of cutting deeper, they shift the perception of the product. How? By changing what it is, or at least, what it's called. This is the second domino in the chain. Reclassifying new motorcycles as used or demo bikes. Here's how it works. Let's say a brand new Yamaha MT-07 has been sitting under the fluorescent lights for 8 months. It's collecting dust. Interest is low. Foot traffic slows down. And yet, the price tag hasn't budged in weeks. Instead of slashing the MSRP even further, the dealership makes a subtle move. They loan it out. A loyal customer comes in for service, a chain replacement, valve check, or ECU flash. While they wait, the dealer offers them a complimentary ride on the MT-07 to kill time. It's marketed as a service courtesy, but internally, that bike just crossed an invisible line. After a few customer rides, a couple test laps, or a weekend with a staff member, the odometer creeps past 300 miles. And just like that, it's no longer new. It's now a demo bike, or even better, a certified pre-owned unit. With that new label comes a new narrative. It's the exact same machine, same year, same engine, same tires. But the moment it's labeled use, everything changes. It becomes a bargain. The power of reframing. This tactic isn't just about moving metal. It's about playing a psychological game with buyers. People who wouldn't touch a $7,999 new bike might jump at the chance to own a lightly used version for $6,900, especially if it's labeled certified pre-owned, comes with a factory-backed warranty, and has all its inspection boxes ticked. The illusion of value is powerful. You're not discounting the bike, you're rebranding it. You're tapping into the part of the buyer's brain that loves a deal, but hates risk. It's the same strategy used in car dealerships. That executive demo, BMW? It's just a test drive queen with 600 miles and a markdown. But buyers eat it up. Motorcycle dealers know this, and they use it to their advantage, especially during slow sales seasons or when certain models prove difficult to offload. Some dealers go even further. They'll hand a bike over to the sales manager, the parts guy, or even a local influencer. They'll put 500 miles on it, maybe film a few social media clips, then return it to the lot with a demo tag. From a buyer's point of view, it's a steal. Same bike, lower price, maybe even a few tasteful upgrades or break-in miles already handled. From the dealer's perspective, it's a win-win. The unit moves faster, the lot clears out, and they never had to risk over-discounting a new product. But like all clever tricks, it has a shelf life. Once buyers start recognizing demo bikes as glorified leftovers, the tactic loses its magic. Some even grow suspicious, wondering if the bike was abused, dropped, or simply unwanted. Still, when inventory won't budge, and the fiscal quarter is closing in, dealers will always reach for this tactic. It's not about trickery, it's about survival. And in today's motorcycle market, the line between brand new and barely used is thinner than ever. Tactic number 3. Dealer-to-Deer Trades. Motorcycle preferences vary wildly by region. What doesn't sell in Ohio might be in high demand in Arizona, so dealers trade stock. Adventure bikes that gather dust in Florida might be hot sellers in Colorado. Sport bikes from a small Midwest town might fly off the floor in Southern California. These trades help dealers avoid losses, and move bikes to markets where they actually stand a chance. Tactic number 4, auctions, the last resort. When all else fails, dealers turn to auctions. Thousands of bikes are bought and sold this way every week. Franchise dealers hold closed auctions for brand-specific inventory. Larger platforms like Mannheim host open auctions, where dealers, rental companies, and flippers compete for cheap bikes. Prices can nosedive, but selling at a loss is still better than bleeding money every day a bike goes unsold. But here's something most riders don't know. Some motorcycles never even make it to the dealership. When manufacturers overproduce, they often hold excess bikes in massive storage facilities. Think acres of asphalt lined with pristine and used motorcycles, just sitting, waiting for a second chance. Sometimes, they're shipped overseas, to countries where demand is higher. South America, Southeast Asia, parts of Africa. A bike that flopped in the US might be a top seller in Indonesia. And in extreme cases, they're recycled or destroyed. Yes, perfectly good motorcycles, crushed or stripped for parts. Why? Because flooding the market with deep discount models can wreck a brand's resale value and customer trust. Better to kill the inventory than cheapen the brand. It's the dark side of motorcycle manufacturing, an industry where reputation often matters more than recovery. So what does all this mean for you? In one sense, it's an opportunity. If you're shopping smart, you could score incredible deals, CPO bikes, factory warranties, brand new machines at used prices. But it also reveals a deeper issue. The industry is struggling to adapt. Some manufacturers are rethinking everything. Smaller production runs, made-to-order bikes, subscription models, where riders lease instead of buy. There's even talk of AI-driven forecasting to better predict trends and avoid overproduction. Meanwhile, dealerships are being forced to evolve, offering online shopping, mobile service, and new financing models to stay alive. Behind every unsold motorcycle is a person. A dealership employee staring down monthly sales goals, a technician prepping bikes that might never be ridden, a manager trying to make payroll while unsold bikes clog the showroom. And behind them, factory workers, supply chain partners, and marketing teams, all impacted when the system fails. The motorcycle industry isn't just machines, it's livelihoods. And when a bike sits too long, the ripple effect spreads fast. Next time you walk past a row of shiny new motorcycles at your local dealer, take a second look. That sport bike gathering dust? That cruiser discounted into oblivion? It has a story, a journey, a past. Even before it finds a rider, it's part of a global system that tries to anticipate our desires, thrill our senses, and still turn a profit. And while some bikes fade quietly into auctions or storage yards, others rise again, reclassified, repurposed, reborn. Because in this industry, one truth always holds. No motorcycle is ever truly forgotten. What's the best motorcycle deal you've ever scored? Did you buy a CPO bike, snag a rare model at auction, or spot a bike gathering dust and wonder what happened? Drop your story in the comments. I'd love to hear your experience. And if you found this deep dive into unsold motorcycles eye-opening, go ahead and smash that like button. Hit subscribe for more industry secrets and motorcycle stories that ride deeper than the headlines. Until next time, thanks for riding with me.